Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new game here I want to play on the channel, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. It's a game entirely about navies, so I think we should jump straight in and I can explain it to you as we get on. We're going to start here with, what should we start with? I think we're going to go with a German campaign. We're going to start in the year 1900, leave it on normal difficulty for now. AI design usage. Yeah, we'll leave that on mixed. Historical opponents is fine. We're going to create our own fleet. And shared designs. Yeah, we'll use... I'm going to set that to always. Because hopefully we'll get some of you guys who want to share your own designs. Email them straight to me and I can implement them into the game. Now, why don't we start? We're going to wait for it to generate a little bit first. Because it has to get a kind of background for us. But then we can jump straight into some shipbuilding. November, January. Takes only a few seconds really. Already into 1999. 1999? 1899. Wrong decade. Wrong century. We're 1800s. And here we are. As you can see here, Germany, we own a little bit of Europe, and I believe we have some distant colonies. Yeah, we have some distant colonies out here in Oceania. I think that's about all we own. I don't think we have, well, we have a few things out here in the South Pacific, but mostly we are here in Europe. Politics-wise, yeah, we like Austria-Hungary. We don't really like France or Britain. Makes sense. Neutral with Russia, neutral with China, a little bit dislike with the Japanese. Finance-wise, I think it's always sensible for us to immediately crank transports. We want to be earning as much money as we can. Crew training, I'm going to leave that there for right now. Tech budget, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Research-wise, we're not really close to anything. So I think it's time we go in and we start designing our first ship. We get given this, the Battleship 3 hull. Yeah, could be better. I think we're Germans. Bigger is better. Well, we're playing Germans, but we're going to go with an American kind of style doctrine here. Bigger is always better. We're going to go with the biggest possible. So, we're going to go... I think we're going to try and squeeze 18 knots out of these engines. Bigger is better. We're going to max out the beam and max out the draft. Spacious quarters, please. Induced boilers. Multiple expansion engines. We have some hydraulic steering. Ah, 1900. We have Krupp 1 armor. Anti-torpedo. Double bottom hulls. Reinforced bulkheads. I forgot how much you start with when you start in 1900. We're going to go with main tower. Main tower can go as far back as possible. We'll leave ourselves some space for a large main gun. Funnels. We want at least 100% here. I think 2 funnels is good enough. Some 13-inch main guns, how about that? Do they fit? No. Okay, might have to adjust the doctrine slightly. Biggest guns that fit. So some 10-inch. A pair of 10-inch bow and stern. I'll get that barbette 2. Standard ratio, some soft capped, some capped AP shells, heavy shells, ballast or white powder. More flash fire spreading, but less chance. Better range, less accuracy. Yeah, we're gonna go ballastite. And citric acid. Enhanced reloader, and we're going with stereo 1 because 10-inch guns. Hopefully, we get some range on these. We can use these things at some range. Up to an 8-inch secondary. These things are a little bit too big for this ship. Maybe 4? Yeah, some 4s fit comfortably here, although arguably not like that. We're going to go... There you go. Some 4-inch secondaries covering the side of the ship, and maybe some 3s. Some 3-inch dotted around. 2-inch fit here. 2-inch single. 2-inch single fits there and there. Casemates. Some nice big 6-inch casemates. Nice. Do we want torpedoes on a battleship? I don't think so. Torpedoes, from my experience of playing this game, are always a weak point. Now, what's the armor? Okay, maybe not 16 inches of main belt. 12? We're going to go 12, 6, 6, 3, 2, 2. Get 2 inch on the superstructure. Max out the conning tower. Bring that down to 18.5 actually. Lengthen the 2-inch guns. They can always use some extra range. Fire out to 8.7, 8.6 clicks. 3-inch, sure, we'll give them a bit more range. They can now go out to 9.9. And the 4-inch can't be lengthened past 2%. They get 2% extra range. They can go out to 10.7 for these 10-inch guns. This thing's range out to 16.4 on the EP. Nice. We have a lot of 4-weight offset right now. Usually I counter that by just putting some deck armor on the opposite side. I have a very thick stern. Very thick aft. 7.2-inch aft deck armor. This deck down here, this little bit of rear deck, is currently thicker than our belt, than the belt on the outside. But we'll ignore that part. Right now, the weight offset is probably more important to deal with, because if we come down here, that's nowhere near as bad. If I go back down to 2% or 2-inch, that's horrible. Those stats are bad. So we're going to leave it at the 7.2 inches of deck armor. And maybe we give it a little bit more armor somewhere central. A little bit more main deck. 3.2 inches of main deck armor. So this is the Bayern class. Yeah, the Bayern class. 18 knots, 14,000 kilometers of range, maximum bulkheads, big beam, big draft, spacious quarters, armored to the teeth, and armed to the teeth with the biggest guns it can fit. So we're pretty happy with this. This thing looks pretty good. So onwards to what's our next ship's going to be heavy cruisers, which I think these things are pretty much just another rundown of the battleship kind of hull. But we're going to run this to 12.5 like it can. And these things do 18 knots, maybe 22 on these. See how that does. Can't do anything beam and draft wise because we don't have the displacement for that. So we're going to leave the beam and the draft as they are. Induced boilers, again, multiple expansion engines. This stuff will all be the same. Grip armor, anti-torp, all that stuff. Citadel 2. Now, front tower. We'll go as far back as it can. So there. Rear tower far forward as it can. Give us as much space as we can work with. Ultra big funnel. You need 2 of those. So we're only going to give it 2 of those. Can I fit 11-inch guns? Yes, but they don't turn. So 10-inch. 10-inch battleship and the 10-inch heavy cruisers. So these things are basically just going to be slightly less armored. I think that's how that's going to work out. Well, we can't put 3. We can't put 4-inch there. We've got 3s. We could fit a lot of 3-inch, but not there. 3-inch single. No. 2-inch. Double. 2-inch single. Yeah. 2-inch singles. Casemates. 4-inch casemates. Cover this ship in guns just like the last one. Again, we're going to go standard ratios. We're going to go soft capped, capped AP, heavy shells, because of course we are. Same kind of stuff with guns. Again, stereo range finding, especially for these 10-inch guns. They're going to want it. What's the armor wise? We'll go 6.5, 3, 3. 3 on the main deck. 2, 2, 2. And then max out the conning tower again. 9. Okay, not bad, not bad. Torpedo launchers. Again, we're going to get 1 on each side, and they're normally a weak point. I'm just going to throw another funnel on this. Because that extra engine efficiency... Ooh. Where in here is the engine efficiency? Here it is. Better acceleration, better torque at high RPMs, better range, better cruising speed. If I put another funnel on, that increases all those stats, but it screws up the weight. So if I was to go and put more armor on the rear deck, that's as heavy as that gets. Put some more on the, there you go, on the belt. Take 3 inches off of that. If I put 3, no. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that, armor-wise. A little bit more weight. Yeah. Grow out the 2 inch, grow out the 3 inches. Okay, don't grow out the 2 inches. Wait, did growing the 3 inch cause issues for the 2 inch? Why did, what? Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. Want some longer 3s, longer 2s. Definitely longer 4s. 11 kilometers on that, 9 on those, and these 2 inch can shoot out to 8.7. Again, the 10 inch are 16.4. I'm actually going to shrink the barrels on those a little bit. Make them 14, but give them a better reload. Speed-wise, good. Range is good. Honestly, pretty happy with this. Don't think there's much more we can ask from the Vineta class. I'd say it's a pretty good ship for 1900 Germany. We've got everything we can want. Some pretty good armor. Pretty good, yeah. I think we call it that for a heavy cruiser design. Then we're going to go to light cruisers, and I'm going to skip torpedo boats and destroyers for now. I know they're very good when it comes to this stage in the game, but at the same time, I am not interested in manning a fleet of 1,000 of them. What would I rather? That. I don't like this bit of weird hole in the middle. I feel like I'd actually rather, yeah, I'd rather this. So 6,500. No, not 65,000. 6,500, thank you. What's the difference? Hull form, way better on this. Stability, better on this. Floatability is worse. Resistance is way worse. Okay, you know, actually, we're going to go with this. Resistance is so much better. Right, so these are doing 22 knots. So the light cruisers surely should be doing at least 24. Again, spacious quarters. Again, with the same engines and stuff. All of that. All that good stuff, yes. Main tower can go there. Rear tower there. Funnels. Now's the big question. How many funnels am I going to need? Only 2. Put 2 amidship. Leave it at that for now. Come back to that when we need to. We are going to go Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 2. We'll go 7-inch guns because they're all Mark 2s. Or not. What? Already overweight? I guess 20. Whoa. Hang on. Whoa. That would be a heavy light cruiser. It would do 49 knots, but that would be way too heavy. So we're going to bring that down to, I guess, 22 knots as well. I guess same speed as the heavies, but I feel like that makes these redundant then. These are the same speed as the heavies, other than the fact that these take 11 months to build rather than what, 15? Yeah. These things can be built 4 months faster and they weigh half the tonnage. I feel like that kind of makes these things redundant. I'm going to build them anyways. Give them torpedoes. 18-inch, leave them on standard. Coincidence range finder. I'm just going to put mine laying on this thing actually. So it's not completely redundant. It's got mine laying. And we're going to go down to 5-inch guns. 5-inch guns there, 5-inch gun there. 5-inch, 5-inch, and a 5-inch on the bow. Go 3-inch secondaries. Can't put any anywhere. 2-inch secondaries. Nope. Casemates. Casemates we can do. Casemates we can throw all over the ship. It's 36 tons overweight. Come back to that in a second when we've done all of this to work out what overweight it actually is. Electrical enhanced. It's 270 tons overweight. I think we just dial back the range a bit and call it a day. Other than the fact it's very, very, very bow heavy. 1, 1, 1, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and now we work it out. So deck armor can go up to the moon. I guess 3 is a lot better than what it was just a minute ago. Although I can probably fix that a bit more by shunting this funnel back a bit. Same with this one. Getting even? No. A 4 weight offset though. That looks really, really stupid. But it works. So the Berlin class. These things are probably never going to get built, but they're there if we want them. So I guess that's a good thing. They're there if you want them, but I doubt we're going to want them. Now, important placements. I get the feeling we're not going to be doing anything out here with our ships currently. 10,000 tons, 2.5, 2.5, 10. You know, it probably is worth actually building those destroyers. So let's go make a destroyer blueprint. Oh, sorry, correction. A large torpedo blueprint. Torpedo boat blueprint. And why is this thing telling me it can go 35 knots? Because that's what this thing's recommended for. Now, we're going to do 28, I think. Even then, I feel like that's too much. Might be worth going down a bit more, but we're going to go no range. Don't need range. Again, same note. Spacious crew quarters, multiple expansion engine, hydraulic. What do we want? Balanced or unbalanced? Turn rate's better. We've got unbalanced on these. Equip 1. Anti-flood 2. We're going to leave out those. Leave out the mines for right now as well. Put the tower there. Need a secondary tower up there. Small funnel. Go there. Torpedo launchers. Go to 3 torpedo launchers and give it a 5-inch on the foredeck. Where are we going? 18-inch torpedoes, coincidence range finding, enhanced reload, electrical turrets. Same. Citric acid. I'm going to go increase torpedoes. Yeah, increase torpedoes. Can I get any 2-inch anywhere? I couldn't get a 5. No. Yes. Gives me 2-inch guns there. Doesn't really harm the torpedo launchers, but it gives me some more guns. Give it some mine laying. Give it some mine hunting. Lengthen the 2-inch guns. Maybe lengthen the 5. That 5-inch can now shoot out to 12.8. 16-second reload. That's not half bad. Try and get rid of the weight offset. Don't know if that's possible. This way I could just armor everything. Yeah, kind of can. We're going to take off a lot of armor from the front. Give it 0.4. There you go. Sorry, top armor. And this cap out at 3.5. Side armor, 7.2. Take away a bit more. No, okay, so we're going to take away a bit more belt armor. It's fine. 0.1 inches of belt armor isn't going to do much for us. I'm going to go this to 27.5, see if I can get 100%. Yeah, there you go. 100% on the boiler. On the boiler? Oh yeah, on the engines. Actually got aft weight offset now. Yeah. Tack on a bit more fore armor, I guess. Here we go. Longer guns. Can I make them any bigger? 2.5 inch, 8.8 kilometers. I'd say this is a pretty decent looking destroyer. And it's only 850 tons, which means we can fit 2 of them in each of those tiny little ports that's 2,500. So actually, I think that's where we start. We start this campaign by protecting our little islands and then come back to protecting our homeland. So these 2 islands in Bismarck Archipelago and Bismarck Archipelago, we're going to go and produce 4 DDs, 4 of these V-class. Get 2 in each port. In the Bismarck Archipelago. What's next? Frederick Wilhelm and the Herbertson. 10,000. What can we fit a 10,000 ton port? I guess one of these and 3 destroyers each. So yeah, we're gonna do that. 3 destroyers. So 1 of you and 3 of you to go to there. 1 of you, 3 of you to go to. Wait, that one, yeah, that one's a Herbertson, so I want that in there. And I'm gonna be honest, I will cut the episode here and I will come back when we are doing mainland Germany. So I will see you all again very shortly. And we've returned. I've put ships into every port that is not mainland Germany. A mixture of heavies, lights, and mostly DDs are filling ports outside of the country. We do have a small battleship fleet that will be here in Kiachtau Bay. Kiachtau? Kiachtau? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I'm gonna just stop pronouncing things before I say something that gets me cancelled. But more importantly, we are now moving on to German mainland. We have 2.5 billion in naval funds to work with. I think we get a couple of main fleets, one in Emden, one in Hamburg, Kiel, and maybe in Danzig. So 4 main fleets. I believe we're on 12,000 crew capacity, 9,000 crew capacity on the task floor, on a task force, which means that each of these is taking up 2,000. How much are these crews? 1,000. So what? If I get 1 of these, I get 7 of those. If I get 2 of these, I get 4. No, I get 5 of these. If I get 2 of these, I get 5 heavies. I think we go for 1 battleship each. We've got 7,000 tons left, 7,000 crew left. If we go with 5 heavies per fleet, takes it down to 2,000 each. Then we go with a light cruiser and a couple of DDs. Yeah, I think we go with a light cruiser each. And then fill out the rest of it with DDs. So we've got what? 2, 7, 2, 7, 8. Get 1,000 crew worth of DDs. So what? Call it 200 each. So we get 5, but then make it 6 each. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 DDs. Now I've got to go put these all into different ports, which is going to be fun. So 1 of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, 1 of you, and then 6 of you are all going to go to. Where should we start? Start with Emden, just easier. Possen, you, 3, 4, 5. Take a light cruiser. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DDs. Go to. We're gonna go Kiel next. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick up a light cruiser. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up 1 of them. 5 of those. Pick up 1 of you and go to Pilau. And then finally 5. 1 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you lot can go to Hamburg. How are we doing money wise? Still got just under 1 billion. We are nearly 3 times the shipping capacity currently. We are low on income. If I was to start building a port expanse, puts us way under. But most of that negative balance comes from being over shipyards. And a lot of it comes from fleet building, which will be done next month. So I think we're going to progress to the first month of this campaign, and we're going to leave it there for this episode with our fleet fully built, ready to take on anyone and anything that decides to step in our way. With fleets like this, which I believe are actually like a light cruiser. Could actually do an extra light cruiser on each of these, I think. What? We had what? 164. 800. Yeah, we could do an extra light cruiser on each of these. I'm going to throw an extra light cruiser in that if we can get them into port before we end up at war with someone. Emden and at Hamburg. But our fleet for the mainland is ready. Our fleet for external ports is ready. I'm just going to go double check. If I go and just build a destroyer, just a random destroyer. If I go scroll through, is there anything we're missing other than mainland? Helgoland, they're all done. All of you are done, and Danzig. So yeah, pretty much. So I'm just going to go put some stuff in Helgoland. What was it, 5,000 tons? Yeah, 5,000 tons. So we want one less than 5,000 tons worth of destroyers. All of you can go to Helgoland. Well, 5,100 tons of destroyers in Helgoland. But I think that's where we're going to leave this episode before we start this campaign. If you have any designs that you have either built before or wish to build for this series, please head on over to Patreon, where you will find the email that you can send all of your designs to and instructions on how to send me your designs. As always, thank you all for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed this brand new series on the channel. And for now, adios.